Well, there was this wealthy man, and he had this son. And they both loved to collect these very rare works of art. They had everything in their collection. They had a lot, and they had everything in their collection, from Picasso to Raphael to Rembrandt. And they would often sit together, the father and the son, and they would admire their great works of art together that they collected over the years. When the Vietnam conflict broke out, the war, the son had to go to war. He had to leave and go to war. And his son was very courageous, and he actually died in the battle in Vietnam while rescuing another soldier. He gave his life to rescue another. The father was notified about his son dying in battle, saving another. And the father grieved deeply for his only son. He only had one son, and that was it. And he grieved deeply for him. About a month later, just before Christmas, there was a knock at the father's door. And a young man stood at his door with a very large package in his hands. Huge, large package. And the man said, "Sir, you don't know me, but I am the soldier for whom your son gave his life." He did not only just save mine, he actually saved many lives that day. And he was carrying me to safety, actually, when a bullet struck him in the heart, and he died instantly. Your son often talked about you and your love for art. And then the soldier handed out this package to the father. And he said, "I know this isn't much, and I'm not really a great artist, actually, but I think your son would have wanted you to have this painting." The father opened the package, and it was a portrait of his son, painted by this young soldier. The father stared in awe at the way the soldier had captured the personality of his son in this painting. The father was so drawn to the eyes, that his own eyes welled up with tears. He thanked the young man, the young soldier, and offered to pay him for this picture. And the soldier said, "Oh no, sir, you are not paying for this. I could never, ever repay what your son did for me that day. It's a gift. It's free. Please take it." Well, the father took the portrait of his son and he hung it over his mantle, the centerpiece in his house. And every time visitors came to his home, he took them to see the portrait of his son before he showed them any of the other great works that him and his son had collected over the years. A few years later, the father died too. And since he had no heir, because he only had the one son, all of his paintings were to be sold at an auction. Collectors from all around the world came that day. All around the world, because it's not often that such a great and rare collection of art becomes available to be purchased. And as the auction opened up, the first painting on the platform was the painting of his son. And the auctioneer pounded his gavel to start. And he said, "We'll start the bidding with this picture of the son. Who will bid for this picture?" Well, there was silence across the room. Nobody spoke. And after a few moments, a voice in the back of the room shouted out, "We want to see the famous paintings. We want to see the rare collections of art. Let's skip this one and move on." But the auctioneer persisted. "Will somebody bid for this painting? Who will start the bidding? $100, $200. Another voice angrily shouted out, "We didn't come to see this painting. We came to see the Van Goghs, the Rembrandts, Raphaels. Let's get on with the real bids here today." But still the auctioneer continued and persisted. "The sun, the painting of the sun, the sun. Who will take the sun?" Finally, a voice from the very back of the room shouted out. It was the longtime gardener of the father and his son. He said, "I'll give $10 for the painting being a very poor man, it was all that he could afford. $10 was a lot for him. So the auctioneer said, "We have $10. Who will bid 20? $20 for the painting of the sun." Then another guy shouted out, "Give it to him for $10. Let's see the masters now. Give it to him for 10." Then again, $10 is the bid. Will somebody not bid $20 for the painting of the sun? Now the crowd there was becoming very angry. They didn't want the picture of the sun. They wanted the more worthy investments for their collections that they had started as well. The auctioneer pounded his gavel. Going once? Pounded it again. Going twice. Sold for $10 to the man at the back of the room. Then a man sitting in the second row shouted out, "Now let's get on with the collection, the rare works, the masters. Let's get on with the collections that we came here for." But at that, the auctioneer actually laid down his gavel. And he said, "I'm sorry, the auction is now over." "What about the painting?" someone shouted. The auctioneer said, "I'm so sorry. When I was called to conduct this auction, I was told of a secret stipulation in the will. I was not allowed to reveal that stipulation until this very moment. Only the painting of the sun would be auctioned here today. And whoever bought that painting would inherit the entire estate, including all the rare collections of art." The man who wanted the sun got everything. Amen? Whoever has the sun has everything. He who gets the sun has everything. Was Jesus victorious? Are we victorious? Did Jesus have peace? Do you have peace? Did Jesus have joy, an inexpressible and glorious joy? Do you have that joy? He who has the Son has everything. Amen?